You show up ready to work, but the site manager asks to see your safety card. Without it, you are turned away at the gate. You lose the day's wages, and you lose the job. While federal OSHA does not strictly mandate outreach training for every single worker, state laws, local ordinances, like New York City's Local Law 196, and general contractors frequently require it as a hard condition of employment. In the past, working on exposed steel frameworks meant accepting extreme, unregulated risks. Decades of fatal accidents and injuries forced the industry to adopt strict, non-negotiable safety standards to keep people alive. A quick note before we dive in. This video is educational. Training requirements vary by state and employer, so you must always verify your specific requirements and check for authorized providers through official government guidelines. Because these credentials are now mandatory just to step foot on site, a massive, fast-paced training market has formed. For workers, this creates a confusing landscape filled with outright scams and conflicting advice on which training to actually buy. This decision tree illustrates your first choice, the 10-hour or 30-hour course. The 10-hour track teaches entry-level workers foundational hazard recognition, but doesn't qualify you to manage crews. Supervisors require the 30-hour track, covering comprehensive hazard management and safety leadership over 4 days. Taking the wrong course wastes your money or limits your career potential. Once you have identified the right track, your next hurdle is deciding exactly how you want to take it. The 100% online delivery method has become the default choice for many workers. It offers modern flexibility, allowing you to train on your own schedule without leaving your current job. This side-by-side bar chart shows the stark difference in cost. Online training typically ranges from $59 to $190. Because providers do not have to pay for classroom space or live instructors, those savings are passed directly to you. But that lower price tag comes with a trade-off. Navigating the material behind a screen requires intense self-discipline, and it completely removes your ability to physically practice tactile safety procedures. Clicking through digital modules is a very different experience from standing on a busy factory floor surrounded by complex machinery. You miss out on the physical spatial awareness that a hands-on environment provides. You also cannot binge-watch the material in a single weekend. OSHA enforces strict digital regulations, automatically locking users out after exactly 7.5 hours of daily training to ensure you actually absorb the information. If you treat the modules like a terms of service agreement and click through as fast as possible, you will likely fail the final exam. Failing out means a total loss of your course fee, forcing you to pay and start over. Online training is an incredibly efficient tool for compliance, but it becomes a financial liability if you try to cheat the system. That brings us to the traditional model, taking the course in person or having an instructor come directly to your job site. Sitting in a room with an authorized instructor gives you immediate answers to complex questions, allows for peer discussion, and provides hands-on demonstrations with the actual tools and protective gear you will use daily. Sharing a physical space also builds a unified safety culture across a crew, and it creates valuable networking opportunities with other professionals in your trade. The logistics, however, require careful planning. You are tied to a rigid schedule, and employers must absorb the hidden costs of lost wages and paused production time while their crews sit in a classroom. This quadrant chart maps out the formats by cost and interaction. In-person training sits high on both axes, with upfront costs jumping to the $200 to $800 range per student. Employers and crew bosses justify paying this premium because it allows them to customize the safety scenarios. They can tailor the instruction to their exact job site hazards, aligning the entire crew's protocols at once. In-person training is a long-term investment in team culture and localized safety, whereas online training is an investment in individual efficiency. There is a darker side to the online safety market. The internet is flooded with fraudulent providers preying on workers who need immediate certification for a job starting tomorrow. You will often see landing pages promising an instant DOL card or overnight OSHA certification. These phrases are massive marketing red flags. Instant physical cards are a logistical impossibility. OSHA strictly issues real Department of Labor wallet cards through a multi-week mailing process handled by authorized providers. Presenting a fake digital card to a site safety manager carries severe consequences. You will be instantly rejected from the site, lose out on wages, and potentially face industry blacklisting. There is only one governing authority that dictates who is actually allowed to issue these credentials. Before you enter your credit card information anywhere, you must manually cross-reference the provider with OSHA's official online outreach trainers list. Taking 10 minutes to verify authorization is the only barrier between securing a valid career credential and paying for a worthless piece of plastic. When you complete a legitimate course, the timeline is straightforward. You finish the required hours, receive a temporary digital certificate to get on site, and wait a few weeks for your physical DOL wallet card to arrive in the mail. This scorecard matrix maps out our final recommendations based on your situation. For independent contractors or entry-level hires, the online OSHA 10 course is the undeniable winner for fast, flexible, and affordable compliance. For career supervisors, we highly recommend the in-person OSHA 30 course for its deep regulatory analysis and peer networking, though the online version works perfectly well if you have strict self-discipline. If you are an employer or crew boss, on-site, in-person training is the superior choice for instilling site-specific safety protocols across an entire crew at the exact same time. Online OSHA 10 and 30 training can be an excellent, legitimate option when you choose an authorized provider. But remember, the card only gets you past the gate. The safety knowledge is what actually saves lives on the job. To keep advancing your safety knowledge and your career, subscribe to the HSE Study YouTube channel. Check out the videos on your screen right now, including everything you need to know before your first day on a construction site, our OSHA 510 Masterclass, ASP and CSP exam strategy, and these 5 safety certificates.